another edition of Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
And I'm Sean Carruthers.
And this is your show that demystifies technology, shows you how to use stuff, figure stuff out, and really, you know, make your gadget and computer world a better place.
Yay, I can use a bit of that.
That's right. Well, today on the show, we're going to deviate a little bit from our normal patter, our normal information download, because we want to address a particular segment of our audience that has been asking for some stuff lately, called the soccer mom.
The soccer mom, you say?
Yeah. Now, the geeks out there are going to be like, yeah, but we want techie stuff. And we will get back to some geeky stuff in future episodes. But we did want to talk about soccer mom, the soccer mom tech tool belt.
Tech tool belt, like Batman.
That's right, exactly. So you can be a better tech-enabled soccer mom in your everyday world.
This isn't necessarily not for the geeks, because a lot of geeks out there have moms who are soccer moms, potentially.
Like me, I recently married a soccer mom. And she has a soccer-playing son. So I now have a soccer-playing son. And so, anyway.
They're not as separate as you think.
No, that's right. So that's what we're going to cover today. And I'm excited.
Good.
Good. All right, well, let's take a break. When we come back, Soccer Mom Toolbox here on Lab Rats. Well, we don't want to overwhelm you with technology here, so it's kind of going to be a brief overview today of the different key technologies you can use as a soccer mom. You know, after all, you're balancing the dog and the kids and probably your spouse and that sort of thing. So we're going to hit at a really high level. We're not going to use too much techie jargon, but we're going to cover a lot of material. So should we get started, Sean?
Let's get right to it.
In the world of soccer moms, of course, one of your key things that you want to deal with is your calendar and creating documents and scheduling and all that stuff. Now, you may use technology like, you know, Microsoft Office, for example, Sean, you know, Excel spreadsheets, but, you know, why bother when you can use a new online technology, relatively new from Google, called Google Docs. So Google Docs has a bunch of different technologies, right?
Yes.
It's got Gmail, so it's easy to use email. You can find that at gmail.com. But one of my favorite tools inside of Google Docs is the calendar. And that's an online calendar you can actually share with other people. So you could actually get your husband or your wife, if you're a soccer dad, or with your kids, you could share calendars, and that's available here. So you're going to go to google.com/docs. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of things across the top. Let's click on calendar here. Real easy to use. I'm going to pop over to Saturday. I'm going to say there's going to be a 9 a.m. soccer game. And just like I would any calendaring software, I'm just going to type in what? Well, soccer game.
So the difference here is it's got a lot of the same features that you'd find in a bigger office suite potentially, with the calendar and your spreadsheet and all of that, but this is all available online, so you can share it with people even if they're in different places.
That's right. The other thing handy would be like if you're getting schedules, for example, the soccer game schedules for the season, you could actually keep it in the documents area. And there you can, I'll just pull down here and say new, you can see that you can create a regular like Microsoft Word document, not equivalent, a presentation like PowerPoint, or a spreadsheet. So those are all available online, the files stay online, and it's a great way to create collaborative experience so you can run the team or connect with the team.
There you go. So you can keep your own schedule online, so you can retrieve it from work or from home, or you can actually open it up to the other soccer moms that need to figure out when are the games, where are the games. It's all there.
That's
online.
Right. In fact, so it's basically. Oh, I think it's time to move on to GPS. But before we go on, I just want to mention, so this is an online experience. It's free, and check it out at Google Docs, google.com/docs.
There you go.
Okay. Speaking of which,
I think that is our next
item. That is our
item.
cue. So let's talk about, you know, I think every soccer mom needs a GPS. So let's talk about what a GPS technology is.
Well, GPS stands for Global Positioning System. What it does is it uses satellites that were put up there by the military in the 80s. It was opened up in the 80s, at the very least, to the public at large. So what this device does is it reads the satellites in the sky and says, that one's there, I must be right here. So what it's able to do is, using a mapping information inside there, is figure out not only where you are right now, but where you need to be and the best way to get there.
Right. And so everybody could use a GPS. You know, if you have a car, even if you're actually a pedestrian and you're trying to find your way around, strange places. In the case of a soccer mom, great to find that those away fields or the fields that you haven't visited before, for example. And right here we have the TomTom Go 930. This has been in my car for a few weeks now, and I really like this because it's very easy to use. It speaks not only where you're going to go, but tells you what the streets are coming up, and that sort of thing. So, you know, coming up, turn left at Lawson Boulevard.
Yeah, and it didn't always used to say that. It just used to say turn left in 30 meters.
That's right. Exactly.
So now you actually know what the street is as well.
Right. So, you know, that's a handy little device to have in your car. These devices run anywhere from $300 to $500. They're car mountable. They plug into your cigarette lighter for power. And in this one in particular has a hands-free remote control. So that's so you don't have to touch the screen. As you drive, you can just use it as a remote, or actually technically the passenger should. The
passenger should. Right. And one thing I like about GPS units these days is a lot of them have Bluetooth built in, which is a wireless technology for connecting to your cell phone or to other things. In this case, you can actually use your GPS in a lot of cases as wireless cell phone speaker, basically. Right, yeah. So you can talk to people on the phone without actually taking your eyes off the road.
It has a microphone built in, so it listens.
Right.
You can talk to it, and it transmits it through your phone. Very cool. Okay, moving on, because I know there's lots of things to cover in this show. Let's talk about in-car entertainment or DVD entertainment, of course. You know, in long car rides, you're going to want to keep the kids busy. And I've recently discovered this, that little Kyle, my new stepson, you know, is a spirited young man, let's say.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
How many more minutes, Andy?
Are we there yet?
How many more minutes?
Are we there?
That's right. So, you know, I find it very handy to keep him occupied in the back seat. And you can do that through a variety of different gadgets these days. You know, one of the things that I came across over the holiday season was a Kid Tough DVD player, which I have right here. It's a $150 unit. It can be dropped by children. It's got a decent little screen on it and runs about $150. So it's a great device to hand to him with a DVD, and he can sit there, his own little DVD player in the back seat.
There you go.
And of course, there are other, you know, higher end things, but they're not that expensive, are they?
No, we've got the iPhones here, but you know what? If you want something that has games and the ability to play video, the iPod Touch is not a bad choice either, because it has a touch screen. You can interact with it. You can play games. You can play videos as well. So you can put an episode of Lab Rats on there. Not that a 7-year-old kid is necessarily going to be really into Lab Rats, but you can put like a Dora the Explorer on it as well. And there it is, and you can just sit in the back seat with that in your hand as well. Well,
so you mentioned, you know, the iPod Touch, of course, the iPhone as well. We have the iPhone here, and that's what I've done for Kyle actually. Is I've actually put, well, I don't have much in the way of kid stuff here at the moment, but you can see I've got Hancock there, which is not a kid's movie, but I've had SpongeBob on his, you know, that sort of thing. So you can actually push play, and it's a beautiful little, you know, player. So let's see if we can get this.
It is quite nice. Of course, the big problem with having that in the kids' hands in the back seat is they might actually start making phone calls to Germany, which isn't exactly what you want. So.
Well, have you had a text message lately say, hey, you're a poopy head?
Yeah, but I assume that was from you.
Well, it kind of was, but it could have been from Kyle.
Yeah, see, there you go. You may want to get the iPod Touch if you haven't gotten one yet.
One other thing I did want to mention, one of the things that I do give to Kyle is download games, a lot of free games from iTunes, and this is on his iPod Touch. He gets that, so there's a couple of kids' games here that I've installed. Very good to keep them busy. So there you go.
Now the thing, we were just showing the iPhone. That's another good thing to have in the Soccer Mom Toolbox as well for a number of reasons. Number one, you need a phone to keep in touch with all other people you need to keep in touch with. You need something to send text messages, whether you're a poopy head or not. And the nice thing about all these smartphones, whether it's a BlackBerry or an iPhone or whatever, is it has a calendar feature, so you can actually keep track of your day, all of the people that need to go somewhere. So you've got right here a list of all of the days, and I think we're there already.
I think we are there.
So you can keep track of things. It'll actually buzz on your hip when it's time to go somewhere. So if you forgot, oh my God, I forgot to pick up Kyle over at the soccer pitch.
Yeah.
Then it'll say, okay, 15 minutes, you got to go get him.
Oh, very cool.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it is very good at keeping track of where you need to be, and of course you have all the other applications that can help you as well on a day-to-day basis.
Now, this is a category of device called a smartphone, right?
It's a smartphone.
Right. So it's not only the iPhone, but also, of course, the BlackBerries these days do a lot of multimedia as well.
Yes.
So let's talk a bit about some of the features in the smartphones these days, because I think that's probably handy. You know, maybe it takes photos and some. This one doesn't take videos, it does take photographs.
Yeah, this one does take photographs, so you do have a camera that's in here, so you can you can see right there what it's taking a picture of, and you can take the picture and keep all these things, and you can upload them to your sites directly from the phone if you like.
Right. Exactly, very good. And of course the BlackBerry, this is an older BlackBerry of course, and there's no phone on it, no camera on it, but the newer BlackBerries have a video capability to record and have all of those features that the iPhone does as well.
Yeah, BlackBerry aimed more at a corporate audience for the most part, although a number of the phones that they're releasing these days are aimed more at a consumer space.
Right. Okay, let's move forward, because speaking of video, if you really want you want a fancy video camera, you want to spend a lot of money, but you do want to take video, Sean's got a solution for you.
So this is called the Flip Video, and this is the Ultra, and it is basically a little video device. So it plugs directly into your computer via USB, so you can offload things pretty quickly. But it's very simple to use. You just turn it on, and you essentially point this at what you want to shoot, press the big record button in the back, and just start recording. There's high-definition versions of this out right now as well. This one right here is standard definition, so it doesn't cost too much. You can generally record half an hour to an hour worth of footage on these things. And I said, once you're done recording this, you just take this, plug this straight into your computer via the USB, and offload the footage.
So USB, of course, is that universal connector that connects most peripherals to your computer. So in this particular case, we're just going to stick it in there. We can do it properly. It's very easy to use, and all of a sudden, you're just dragging and dropping the images, right? That's right.
Yeah, and another thing you may want, again, really quickly, is a
digital camera.
Digital camera. So this right here is Matt's camera, which is why I came flying in from that side. And especially if you're a soccer mom, if you're a sports fan, you'll want to be taking pictures of your kids at the game. So if you're really, really into sports, you may want to look for something with ultra zoom so that you can get right in close to the action. At the very least, you'll want one with a sports function, because when you're doing sports, you're in action on the field, which means you're going to get a whole lot of blurs. So sports function will change the settings on the camera so you can actually capture those moments really quickly.
Right, when your 7-year-old is scoring a goal.
Right, and digital cameras you can get starting in the hundreds, or $100, $200, so they're very cheap, very affordable, so you have no excuse not to have a digital camera at this point. Right,
and in fact I'm amazed because you can now shoot 10 megapixel images on a $300 camera, and a megapixel, of course, is a rating about the quality of the picture. So anything above 5 megapixels, and you've got poster-sized photographs that you're taking potentially, right?
There you go. As long as they're not blurry. So definitely look for the sports feature on the camera when you're buying.
Very good. Now let's talk about the ultimate geek tool, which I think is also useful for soccer moms. And I'm not talking about the floppy disk.
No.
I'm talking about the USB key.
USB key.
So you remember years ago there was a square disk that would go on your computer and save 1.44 megabytes of data. Well, now there's this device here.
This right here, and what this is, again, universal serial bus plugs into your computer on that little rectangular slot on the back. So it just like that. And this right here is 8 gigabytes, and you can get these in 16, 32, 64 gigabytes, depending on how much you're willing to spend. This one right here, 8 gigabytes, saves hundreds, thousands of photographs on this, a lot of videos, and it cost me $19.99.
Amazing.
Only $20 at the store on sale. So this is the new, you remember in the old days when you wanted to show pictures of your kids to someone, you would pull out your wallet and just open up that long thing of photographs. Now you don't have to do that. You can actually take this, say, do you got a computer handy? There you go. Here's all the photographs of my kids. Right. A slideshow, and you can bore them for hours just with this little device. And it sits on your key ring, too.
Amazing. So, and don't forget, it's just like a little storage device, right? So you can, documents, pictures, video, whatever you want. It's a USB, it's a floppy disk, but much bigger.
Anything you can save on your computer, you can save on that. It doesn't just have to be photographs.
Okay. And one final thing before we go, the ultimate soccer mom need to have is my book, The Windows Lockdown, Your XP and Vista Guide to Against Hacks, Attacks, and Other Internet Mayhem. So there you go. It's under $25. It's a perfect soccer mom, to teach you how to protect your computer from those nasty viruses.
Yes, please go out and buy that book immediately.
All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we've got picture time.
We do have picture time.
And more craziness from lab rats. Woohoo! Well, this episode has been soccer mama-licious, I think. Don't you think, Sean? There you go, see? All right, well, before we get into picture time, we have Mr. Mobiles here to talk a bit about mobility, cell phones, fun stuff like that. And his name is Jay. So let's go see that. When we come back, picture time after that.
Hi, I'm Jay Goldman, and you're watching Mr. Mobile. Today we're going to take a look at a really relaxing iPhone application called Koi Pond, which puts pretty pictures of koi swimming around in a pond on your phone. Doesn't sound like much, but trust me, when you get a look at the graphics on this, you're going to want Koi Pond wherever you go. And that's the beauty of the iPhone, because you can take it with you. Let's take a look. I'm going to tap on the Koi Pond icon and bring up the application. And so right away, you can see my pretty pond. It's got some koi swimming in it, and you can hear the noise. And see, watch the fish swimming around, a couple of lily pads, that sort of thing. Now I can interact with the fish. If I tap my finger on the screen, it makes ripples in the pond, which you can actually hear, and it also scares the fish off. The other thing that I can do is hold down my finger, and that will actually attract the fish because they think it's food. So eventually they'll swim over and start nibbling on the tip of my finger. Koi Pond's configurable, so you can actually, the phone vibrates when the fish are nibbling. It's a little bit jarring, but you can configure the pond a little bit. So if I tap in the bottom corner down here, I can actually bring up a menu. And that lets me change a couple of things like the color of the water. So you can see the water changing in the background. I can change the amount of lily pads that there are. I can go all the way up to the most lily pads. I can turn the fish off completely, or I can add more fish. So let's add a whole bunch. And then I can actually configure the sounds. So I can turn off some of the other background noises if I find it a little too intense. And I'll leave it at that. Tapping outside brings me back to my pond. And now you can see that I've configured it just to my liking. Now, one of the great things about this is actually just putting your headphones on, tuning out the world around you, and focusing on the fish, playing with them a little bit. Actually really, really relaxing. And it's a real bargain for this application at 99 cents. I highly, highly recommend that you grab it from the App Store for those times when you're waiting in the doctor's office and you're feeling a little bit of stress. You can relax with some peaceful atmospheric sounds and some fish that you can feed whenever you'd like to. I'm Jay Goldman. This has been Mr. Mobile. Check us out on butterscotch.com for some other episodes and some of the other great tech shows in the family. Thanks for watching.
With that Jay Goldman, I tell you, he's fantastic. He's
is.
soccer mamalicious.
I guess.
All right.
I've never quite thought of him that way before, but there we go.
All right, picture time. So we have pictures of soccer moms?
We do not have pictures of soccer moms today. I know you were hoping, really, really hoping, but no, we've got photographs of our viewers, some of whom may have soccer moms.
Okay.
Who knows?
Good. Let's see them.
Let's check it out. So first up, we've got Kieran, and he is in England.
Oh, he's in England. So he wouldn't have a soccer mom. He would have a football mom.
Yeah,
hello,
potentially.
Mom. Let's go play football.
Yes. So again, we're going to get letters talking about how crappy your accent is.
Oh, what's wrong with my accent?
Well, we're not exactly sure what you're trying to accomplish there, but apparently our viewers in the UK say it sounds nothing like that.
I know. So sorry. Sorry.
And you're from there.
I know. I was born there, but a long time ago. So.
I guess it's, morphed since then.
It has. It's more Canadianized.
There we go.
Okay, so ooh, that's not okay. Pictures.
Yeah, we have another
Kittens.
picture. Oh. And this is our viewer John. His daughter in Berkeley has foster kittens. She takes care of a bunch of kittens, brings them up, raises them, and then I guess gives them up to someone else.
Berkeley, California?
Berkeley, California.
Oh, I
where
love
you
Berkeley,
were from.
California. I used to live there.
Yes. Did you meet these kittens before?
Not that one. That one I did.
Really?
No.
Okay. So this is Ozzy and Edie.
Oh, so cute.
So there you go. So thank you so much for that.
And finally?
And we have Keith.
Soccer dad.
Soccer dad, potentially. He is from Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh.
And he has lab rats on there.
Soccer is a big thing in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Do they call it football there too?
They may.
Oh, who knows?
But Keith wanted to know a little bit more about graphics editing programs, which we're not going to cover right now, but we're going to keep this in mind for later on. Talk about maybe Photoshop or some more basic things for people to look at. So.
Fantastic. Okay. Well,
there we
thank
go.
you for sending your pictures today of you and your kittens and your pets. And don't forget, you can send your pictures to us of you, of your soccer mom, of your soccer kids, of your soccer balls, of your soccer minivan, whatever you want, to.
You don't have to be a soccer fan to love technology at labrats.tv.
That's pretty good. Or
feedback@labrats.tv. Use that one. It'll work better.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in today or downloading or pushing play or whatever you did to see us. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we'll see you next time.
Are you ready? Try this at home.
Voice check, Andy Walker, please.
Hey, and welcome to another edition of Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
And I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we are the technology show that makes things simple and teaches you how to use them effectively.
Are you talking at the level you'll be talking
I
at
can
during the
talk
show?
louder and generate.